Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a magnificent castle where a young prince lived. The prince was very handsome, but sadly, he was not kind. He was selfish and loved only himself. One cold winter night, a poor old beggar woman came to the castle asking for shelter from the storm. She had no money, so she offered the prince a single red rose as a gift.
You dare approach my door looking like that? Get out of my sight!
Suddenly, a bright light flashed. The old woman was actually a powerful enchantress in disguise.
No, please, enchantress, have mercy. I didn't mean it, I swear. Please.
She turned the handsome prince into a scary, hairy beast, so he would look as ugly as his heart. She left him the rose. If he could not learn to love, he would stay a beast forever. Many years later, in a sunny village nearby, lived a beautiful and kind girl named Belle. Belle was very special. While others cared about silly things, Belle only loved reading books.
She's gone completely mad, I tell you. Head always stuck in a book.
It is just not right.
Belle lived with her father, Maurice. He was an inventor who loved to make strange machines. One day, Maurice fixed his invention and was ready to take it to the fair to win a prize. Before he left, Belle asked her father to bring her back a rose, for she loved flowers very much. Maurice rode his horse into the forest, but soon it got dark and foggy. The poor old man could not see the road clearly, and he got lost in the woods. Suddenly, scary wolves appeared. They growled and wanted to chase him. Maurice was so scared, he made his horse run as fast as the wind to escape. Running from the wolves, he found a big dark castle and ran inside to be safe. Inside, it was quiet and spooky. Maurice called out, but nobody answered. He didn't know that the furniture in this castle was magical and could talk. They watched him silently. Cold and tired, Maurice sat by the fire to warm his hands. But then, the beast appeared. He was huge and angry because a stranger was in his home. The beast roared loudly, terrifying poor Maurice. The mean beast grabbed Maurice and locked him up in a cold, dark dungeon tower. Back home, Belle saw her father's horse return alone. She knew something bad had happened.
What happened? Where is Papa?
Being a brave daughter, Belle rode the horse back into the forest to save her father. She arrived at the beast's scary castle. It looked like a place where monsters lived. Belle walked through the dark halls, calling for her papa. Deep down in the dungeon, she heard her father coughing weakly.
Don't worry, Papa. I won't leave you. I'm gonna get you out of here.
Belle loved her father too much to leave him there alone. Suddenly, the beast stepped out of the shadows. He looked very scary.
Please don't do this. You must let me go.
The beast said no, so Belle made a brave choice. She said, "Take me instead." She promised to stay in the castle forever if her father could go free. The beast was surprised by her kindness. He agreed and switched them. Maurice cried as he was sent away, leaving his dear daughter behind with the monster. Belle was now a prisoner. She sat in her room and cried because she missed her home.
Don't cry, darling.
Belle was amazed to see talking objects. They were actually the prince's servants under the spell. Lumiere the candlestick welcomed her warmly, making her feel a little less lonely. As days went by, Belle explored the castle. It was beautiful, but sad. The beast had told her never to go to the West Wing, but Belle was very curious. She went inside and found the magical red rose glowing in a glass jar. It was so beautiful that she reached out to touch it. The beast saw her and roared in anger. He was scared she would hurt the rose. Belle was so terrified of his anger that she ran out of the castle into the snow. She rode her horse into the dark forest, but it was freezing cold and dangerous. A pack of hungry wolves surrounded Belle. They were ready to attack her. Belle closed her eyes, thinking this was the end. But suddenly, the beast jumped in. He fought the wolves to protect Belle. The wolves bit the beast, hurting him badly, but he scared them all away. The beast fell onto the snow, tired and bleeding. Belle could have run home to her father, but she saw that the beast had saved her life. She decided to be kind. She helped the beast up. Together, they walked back to the castle. Belle began to see he wasn't just a monster. Belle gently cleaned the beast's wounds. She wasn't afraid anymore.
Thank you.
After that, they became friends. They fed the birds in the garden together. The beast wanted to make Belle happy, so he showed her his huge library filled with books. Belle clapped her hands with joy. It was the best gift she had ever received.
The earliest maps often depicted sea serpents in uncharted waters, symbolizing the dangers that lay beyond.
They played in the snow like happy children. The beast learned how to laugh again. He tried hard to eat politely with a spoon to impress Belle. The servants were so happy watching them, they hoped Belle would break the spell. One special night, the beast dressed up like a prince and invited Belle to dance. They danced beautifully across the floor. The beast was gentle and kind. Belle realized she was starting to love the beast for his good heart. But after the dance, the beast saw that Belle looked sad. He asked her why. Belle said she missed her father and was worried about him. Because the beast loved Belle, he gave her a magic mirror to see her father. In the mirror, Belle saw her poor father was sick and lost in the woods looking for her. The beast knew he had to set her free, even if it meant he would stay a beast forever.
Belle, you are free now.
Belle asked if he would be okay. The beast lied and said yes, just to make her go. He told her to keep the magic mirror so she could always remember him. Belle rode away quickly to save her father, leaving the sad castle behind. Up on the high tower, the beast watched her go and roared in great sadness. The servants were heartbroken too. They knew their time was running out. Belle found her father lying in the snow and woke him up. She brought him home and gave him medicine until he was better. Maurice was so happy to have his daughter back, but Belle was quiet. Belle missed the beast. She realized she loved him. One night, she looked into the magic mirror to see how the beast was doing. Oh no! She saw the beast lying on the ground, dying of a broken heart. Belle knew she had to hurry. She jumped on her horse to go back to him. She rode through the storm, faster than ever before. "Hold on, beast," she cried. She arrived at the garden and found the beast lying still on the cold grass.
Oh, please. Please don't leave me. I love you.
The beast opened his eyes weakly. He was happy to see her one last time. Inside the room, the very last petal of the magic rose was about to fall. Time was up, he whispered softly. Then, the beast closed his eyes and stopped moving. He was gone. The last petal fell. The light of the rose went out completely. Belle hugged him and sobbed. For a moment, everything was silent and sad. But then, a magical thing happened. Belle's tear of true love landed on the beast and started to glow. Golden light swirled around the beast, lifting him into the air. The light was so bright that Belle had to cover her eyes. The magic spell was breaking. The ugly fur and claws disappeared. The beast was turning back into a human. When the light faded, a handsome prince stood there, alive and well.
Belle, it is me.
Belle looked into his blue eyes and knew it was her beast. They hugged each other with joy. The curse was finally broken. Inside the castle, Lumiere, the clock, and the teapot all turned back into happy people. Little Chip became a cute little boy again and ran to his mother. The next morning, the sun shone brightly on the castle. It was no longer dark and scary. Belle and the prince got married in a beautiful celebration. Everyone cheered. Belle's father, Maurice, was so proud of his brave daughter. The prince promised to always be kind and never selfish again. He thanked Belle for teaching him how to love. Belle smiled, knowing that true beauty comes from within. The garden was full of blooming red roses, brighter than ever. And so Beauty and her prince lived happily ever after. The end.